7 like wonders in the high school, and he happens to be one of them. And they're all like ghosts and spirits, and so these kids are constantly spreading rumors like, "Oh, did you hear if you step on the 3rd step of this of this hallway, like demons will come and take you and eat you?" And like so they spread rumors, and then the rumors get heard by the spirits, and then they start enacting them.
But also balls.
Oh,
and so Hanako-kun actually is protecting the students.
Okay, that's fun.
But there's something very vile and evil about him that they keep like the reason why he's stuck and bound here is because he viciously murdered someone, but no one will talk about it yet.
Okay.
And so there's like some cool. It's really fucking great.
Nice.
I don't know. I'm just
no.
like,
That sounds like the kind of dumb. That generally sounds like the kind of dumb shit that gets me into a show. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find like. I'll just quickly put on a trailer for it before we.
Say hello, Internet.
Hello, Internet. I guess we won't do it now then.
Sorry.
We can do it afterwards.
That's okay.
We can probably mute it. Be awkward for the 30 seconds. That
You guys want to be awkward for 30 seconds?
Yeah.
You live for that shit.
Don't lie to me.
We're always awkward. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
That's right.
How do you mute it? You have to go up there
Tap
and,
the
like,
red button
on the mic.
If one of you is,
I mean. Kill some.
We're back! Right in the butt.
Yeah.
Right in the butt.
He has. That's how you.
Was
do
that
them,
like?
Anyways.
What?
So he has to kill so many demons and spirits to move up in the clan.
Oh, okay.
And so he carries it with him at school. So he hides it in the umbrella.
I'm like so on the
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, that's the kind of stupid shit I'd watch that.
Yeah, it's fucking great and it's gorgeous.
Him attacking people with a knife also makes me real sad that I'm not getting a second season of Cells at Work. There's more
I
Cells at
love
Work available.
Cells at Work.
There's more Cells at Work available, but there's no second season of the show coming out.
I basically just watched what there was, and I was like, I'm just gonna look at the manga.
After 15 years, they're gonna give us a second season of Oran Host Club.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What?
So we've all been
very happy
sitting
about
here
that.
like fucking dying. We're gonna see who Haruhi picks. I mean, I already know who she picks, but
Well, yeah, it's different.
I read the
It's
manga.
animation.
So
Cells at Work Black.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Like, that's out, but they're
I
not
love
going to make
that
a...
stuff.
They're apparently not making an anime of that, at least not yet.
Well,
it'll take a minute.
it's how are they?
The first one's really violent as it was, so...
Yeah. But there's
that
not
was-
really as much of a veneer of cuteness on this one.
I guess it's true. There's no platelets being put to work.
But yeah, this show is a very nice balance between super fun, cute, funny, and also dark as shit.
Yeah.
I'm also looking really forward to. They announced the second season of Irumi-kun for next year, and I'm really excited for them to do the evil Irumi-kun or Chad mode Irumi, which is going to be great. Chad mode. Well, yeah, he's such a in the show. He's such a nice guy because he's the only human in a school full of demons. Because it's that kind of show, and he's such a nice guy. As a matter of fact, he can't say no to people who ask him nicely, and there's a point in time, the end of the series, or the end of the current series leads into an arc where he gets mad about, like, he just becomes kind of evil, which is great.
Kind of.
Just a little bit. He's still a human, so.
Diet Coke of evil.
Yes. All right. Anyway, sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I, it's been a while since I'd come across all this, so I'm trying to remember where everything is. All right.
So, I just
We left
he
Tahoe.
said made out of bones, and then we left Tahoe. That's what I got at the end of this.
Yeah. You guys are headed south out of the basin, up a small trail, and you get to after a few hours, you get to a small encampment with a particularly prominent tree that has the word Myers scratched into it, and that's where instead of heading west down to Strawberry, you guys continue south down the Ridge Trail, actually heading somewhat easterly to keep going, because if anyone asks Lou, Strawberry's still snowed in, but farther south people are making transition through the mountains down to the lower lands, yeah, as it's a little warmer, a little farther south. You guys travel most of the night until you come to another small camp that surrounds a shack attached to several pavilions, and there is a large. It looks like anywhere else it would be a bar top for a very large tavern, but it's actually above the shack, and it says Markley's Goods. And you guys set up camp outside of there as it's getting close to the end of the night, and Lou and a few of you may have already known from info Lou has given to the rest of the train that this is sort of a stopping point / of course trading post set up by a gentleman named Jacob J. Markley, and this is sort of his little hub in the wilderness of the Sierra Nevadas. Anyone want to take care of any business while they're sitting there?
Well, we stocked up on provisions before we left.
Pretty much.
There. Trading post.
Okay.
Trading post.
I'm Vanilla Frankie.
Trying to think of anybody really.
Classic Frankie.
Yeah,
Classic.
That's right.
Classic.
Does
As opposed
this
to Diet
place have
Frankie or
a...
Cherry Frankie.
Yes.
Okay.
New Frankie.
Frankie Zero Calories.
Frankie Zero Sugar.
Post office?
Sure. That makes sense.
Does this place have a post office?
Not officially,
Okay.
but if you inquire, Jacob, the man himself. Actually, no, not the man himself. The store isn't open right now, but but apparently Jacob is absolutely willing to have someone take post to the nearest. Well, this is still a territory. Yes, to the nearest post trail to have it mailed off. But it will likely be taken south, which is kind of where you guys are headed anyway.
No, hold on.
So this is mostly just a trading post.
Yeah, it's a well-known encampment space.
Okay. How far is it outside of reach? Would Lazarus have known about this place?
Yeah, he may have ranged down this way on a particularly on like a day excursion and that sort of thing.
Okay.
He may be known down here.
I guess as we're supposed to just be worried about taking care of Annie, because Annie's probably not feeling all that great.
No, she's hanging in there. She's about where she was when the party first arrived.
Yeah.
No better, no worse.
Yeah. Fred cleans out, dumps the trash out of the back of this.
Sure.
Cleans out the extra scraps.
The trap.
Yeah. But I don't know that he would have any interest in the trading post necessarily, unless the ball told him he had some sort of endorsement here. Sounds like fireworks.
Someone farted fireworks.
That's what my mind went to. Someone ate bad fireworks.
And if there's nothing but a trading post here, I assume Bill probably wouldn't be interested in doing anything other than doing parties right now.
She might try and wrestle up some games, but it's basically crazy early in the morning.
Yeah.
What's the name of the game?
Most people are referring to it as Markley's. Yeah.
We need to get anything around here?
We probably not. We can take stock of what we have and what we're low on and do the resupply.
There are some people waking up right now before sunrise because they're going to start their day.
Yeah.
So.
Is it like
hello.
morning?
Hey.
Suddenly.
Suddenly a cat appears, a giant cat.
That was very deliberate, no hesitation.
She's comfortable with me.
It's only like 8 something. We've
Yeah,
got like 2 hours. No, she's just like, oh, it's my turn to be on the table because I'm always on the table. She's always on the table.
Yeah.
Her box is usually over there where Jaren is, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Except to tell them that I can have stuff back on the ground.
Anyway. Yeah. So if no one's gonna try doing some Sandman hunting, is there anything we want the humans to pick up during daylight?
I was gonna say Pip probably sends Jean-Pierre out to get personal provisions.
Sure.
Since she isn't exactly joining everyone as of recent.
Yeah.
And is sticking close to her haven.
Yeah. Some fresh cream. Some
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Sure.
Yeah, Abe would basically just look at where our supplies are at right now, where they should be, and if there's anything we need to top off while we're here, we would make a list.
Yeah, go ahead and make me an int plus survival or...
Yeah, good thing I'm not rolling that.
Yeah.
Wait, it's awful.
I'll also accept leadership.
Okay, no, survival is good.
Yeah.
What's the difficulty?
7. 2. Yeah, you're like, well, we could use a couple more of these and one of those, so you can let probably one of the day crew.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Probably.
Your chapter.
Probably. Yo, I think you guys got a Greg, a Gaylord.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we'll probably have him do it. I think he's part of the day crew.
Good.
So yeah. Oh yeah, now you wishes. You got an owl. Oh, look at that. Cool. So, yeah, during the day they pick up a few more nails and an extra axle and another thing of flour.
And like a whole crate of guns.
I need more gun. Can I get gun with that gun?
Gotta stock up on axles and bullets.
That's
That's what we gotta stock, because all we're doing is hunting via.
That's right.
buffalo.
That's right. We're running out of food, but I got 40 rifles and half a ton of gunpowder.
I just gnaw on the wooden stalk,
Right.
and then take,
We're just gonna eat the people we shoot, guys.
and then I like swallow gunpowder by the shot glass, and
And you're like, boys, when you feel the end is coming and their last days, you tell me. We'll pull the rifles out. We'll have a grand old time before we go.
it's like, what's that, Pop? Your last meal.
Oh Jesus! That got real dark.
Alright, and then let's see here. Yeah, okay. So that's the end of the night. Y'all crawl into your boxes, and the next night arrives uneventfully.
Okay, it's not the daytime. There's not werewolves. Like every time we wake up, there's something.
No, it's fine this time.
We haven't encountered they who shall not be named recently, so.
Okay.
They got yeah. So down 1 blood point, up 1 will. If that's your bag. I think the wagon train is sturdy enough to recover that 1 or 2 for everyone.
Yeah.
I think I still have damage.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah, I still have to deal with that too. Damn.
Those aggravated.
Next time we get into a trading zone, still have more people.
Wait, no. No, it looks like I got rid of all of them.
Not when we're at this one or the next.
Oh, we're at this. We're
Right.
still at this.
That
one.
just
Yeah.
means
We're
lethal,
still
right?
camping here, so we can probably.
Is there a tasty human?
That just means lethal, right?
There's a handful of humans.
It's all
Okay.
lethal.
There's a
How
I
do
bunch
can
you
of
kill them
know
with
that?
1
Just
blood
one?
point.
Is
per-
there a tasty human I can eat? And I still have a bunch of X's and 1 little doodling.
Your doodly is what you're gonna need. 5 blood
Yeah, you're
points.
gonna need
to
5 blunt points.
Is that one?
You
human
just
or
need a
2
blunt.
humans?
That's
One
that's-
blunt.
Well, that's 1 human if you don't care.
That's at least
Yeah.
split between.
That's a high ass
You
human.
want to keep them alive? Split it between 2.
So 2
We
humans.
are crossing
I eat
into
2
California.
humans.
You'll get all the
Yes.
blood point you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so I
All
eat 2
natural.
humans and I get rid of that
That's
little
right.
doodling.
Yes.
Okay.
The rest of it should go away on its own, pretty much.
Yes.
That's weird. Like the lethal damage actually should heal pretty much over
Yeah.
time, especially if we're taking weeks. Like
Yeah.
that.
And actually, yeah, you'd probably clear them all because you would have cleared the X's and the asterisk would have
Yeah.
bumped itself to the top of your damage.
I'm still gonna.
Yeah, I'm hoping again. That's good.
Take a snack.
Bill's gonna eat, but she stays basically at her same level because she spends 2
I
points.
need
So.
3.
And then
Can I find a human everything?
I thought you already ate
That's what I mean.
2
like,
humans
No, that okay. So yeah.
plus your 1 human in camp.
Okay. So, I don't know how this
That face.
Just that face.
All right.
Okay.
I wish we had Zoom controls over this week because.
Sure.
who are you today?
Stella.
Stella. I don't. Who's the one that
infectious thing.
that Bill Russ promised you to take you hunting?
You do.
I do. She normally
I don't
takes me to
remember.
care of the humans.
There's the one that
so
accidentally
they don't
ate
get
somebody. That ate.
Oh, that's Tasha.
Tasha. Okay. Or Tasha. Yeah.
Tasha
Which
is
is what we
currently
did
not
on earlier,
available.
in case you forgot.
Huh.
Unless that doesn't count anymore.
No, yeah. I don't remember what's going on. This game goes on so long.
Whose fault
Wow.
is that?
Yeah, whose fault is that?
I'm like, not ours. Sorry. Always.
It's
Two
Sorry.
humans.
always
They
it's
can't.
always the group's
So
fault.
not
however
mine.
long.
Yeah.
So you just gotta make note of that somewhere, however you want to make note of that.
No, I know what Frederick is definitely doing. He's gonna go
no.
seize a baby.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. That's along too.
Is it developing at a normal rate?
So I'd
Yes.
actually like to point out that if you're using me to heal and treat the people you bite,
Yeah.
I'm not hanging out with people right now.
Oh.
Just like to point that out.
Fred will gladly help you.
Abe is now
I mean,
by
I just
a cat.
like I
Fred will
can't.
gladly help you.
I don't
because
care, but I'm just saying, like, we don't want our
Like, I'm
people.
trying-
We
I'm
don't want
trying
our
not
hurt to
ask
die.
her, but all he does
I
is
see
meow.
her.
What's up with that?
I see her.
Wherever she bites them, everybody in town now has an extra fingerprint.
Well, no, that's up to him about the townspeople. I meant our people.
Oh, our people. Oh, okay.
Our
Yeah,
people.
I'll take care of that. But
Yeah. I don't know if I'm all like, if you. Hannah looks at you and she's all like, if you want to, I don't care. But, whatever. They're humans. So
those are free range humans. I have
Yeah.
no. I
Yeah,
have no-
so if you're like, no, I want to give them and heal them and give them an extra fingerprint, you are more than welcome to.
I didn't know John became a gangrel. When did this happen?
Yeah.
I mean,
Those for 2 good animals. Isn't
I was like, not
Well,
too
you have a
far off.
protean, you know. That's like,
Yeah, you can do it.
Stop making her comfortable.
I can't. She's a cat. She's adorable.
Yeah.
I want to give her
Knows her
pets.
power.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's also another wagon train that came in during the day.
Ooh, neat. It's probably full of Mormons.
That is actually no.
Sorry, I know
Okay.
you've said this like
Why
7
does she
times
look
today.
like that?
Who are you?
I don't know.
Stella.
Thank you.
This is only the second time I said
Just
that.
watch out for the boy.
Actually, there's a lot going on right now.
Does anyone care about the other wagon train?
I want to know if they're human or
Yes.
not.
Well, ostensibly, they came in during the day. There's a bunch of them. There's about 8 or 9 wagons.
What kind of humans?
They're actually a assorted crew.
It's a circus train.
No, unfortunately not.
Are there any trees nearby that I could climb?
Oh hell yeah, bro! You're in the Sierra Nevada. This is redwood.
The trees everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like right, near where the other wagon is, because I just totally climb up there.
I
and
mean,
stare
yes,
at them.
all over. You can monkey through those trees
Cool.
to your heart's content.
I do that. I'm also
So
trying
they're
to.
just. What do you mean an assortment? What does that mean? What does that mean?
Various original nationalities.
Because they're all sorts.
Just people rolling out here.
But I mean, nationalities are actually not a big thing right now, are they? Like, you don't really get nationalities unless they're like slaves.
Huh?
What?
Yeah.
Because it's mining time, right?
What?
No, totally. Like people. It's everybody's from another country right now, so it's like everybody from.
I meant like non-white people. Like,
No,
are
I
they-
mean, yeah, it's
No.
plenty of people out
Sorry,
here. So
these all sorts of white people. Oh, honey,
What?
you need coffee?
I had 2 strong drinks at the same time.
I know.
But no, actually, legitimately, I thought.
All right, so
I thought
there are Germans,
Yeah,
Irish, French,
those are all white people.
yeah, no, but they're still
but
nationalities.
they're from different nations.
Yes,
but
yeah.
Originally.
she's trying to talk about people who are not white.
Okay, you're
Sorry.
talking about ethnicities.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. You just said an assortment of people, and I want to know what kind of assortment. And when you say assortment of all kinds, then I'm all like, I think of a melting pot of like California.
All right, how do you go about gathering this info?
Are we looking at me? I mean, Stella's just like watching people. Like,
I'm hoping Stella will bring back info.
I can.
All right, Stella.
You didn't
mean,
ask me that.
I was so.
Well, you want to
mostly,
know?
so Stella likes being in tall places and seeing if there's anybody about that would actually either like to
McDaniel.
perform with her or watch
That's
her
his.
perform.
That's his Christian name, Lazarus.
So that's the first thing she's
Lazarus
looking at.
Aaron McDaniel, if you want to be specific about it. That's 2 A's.
Hey, Abram.
Aaron. Lazarus Aaron McDaniel.
Sorry. I don't know why that was so funny.
So, how are you gathering this info? You're using your eye in the sky?
Yeah, maybe till Stella can check to finish his piece.
All right, Stella. You would.
I can turn on my aspects. That
Do you?
helps.
Well, so
Ooh, I've got number two.
Poop jokes.
Guys, to watch everybody poop.
Yeah, poop jokes.
Sorry.
We
All right, Ms.
transitioned
Allen.
this channel from being everything dick jokes to being
Ms.
everything
Allen.
poop jokes.
are you going to send her specifically to scout, or are you
No, I
just
already
going
left.
to sort of interrogate her when she comes back?
I'm gonna interrogate her when she comes back.
All right, sick. All
And
right.
we have people, right?
Yeah. What do you mean by we have people?
Like, so I have Theo.
Yeah.
I'm sitting it out. We have
She's
two.
just
We
keeping
have
it
2
warm.
guest players.
Yeah, basically, you turn into a cat.
Yeah.
So Stella went off and started
I'm
running
okay
around
with
the
this.
trees and staring at
Theo's normal
people.
routine.
I'm okay with
Like,
this.
go into town to see what kind of provisions are available
Right.
in case Hannah would want anything.
Right.
So wouldn't he have seen these people?
Yeah, a few of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So kind.
So between Stella and Theo. So I wait.
Okay.
I do wait for Stella to get back,
All right.
but I would have said Theo,
Aha.
what have you seen about these
Okay.
people?
Theo informs you
You
that
don't have to put up with that. You really don't. You can
Put up
pick
with
it
what?
up.
or if you
Pick it
want,
up.
slide the
Pick it
chair one way or the other, and then put down the other chair, and then she's undisturbed.
That's right.
Yes.
So Theo, when you're like Theo,
I would
who
just
are
try to
those
sit
people?
on there and
Yes.
push moves.
He will
And
inform
that's
you
how I
that
do things.
they've broken off from their main wagon train.
So nice to animals, though.
They are now referring to themselves as the Holbrook Party.
He did grow up on a farm. Who's the
Yeah.
whole party? The people that just came in?
This is the info Theo is giving
Oh!
to
Okay, sorry.
no,
Cat was
don't worry.
distracting.
Don't worry, we'll get to your recon
Distracting.
in a moment.
I like
There
how
you
it's
go.
like recon, but
Yeah.
really I'm just playing.
No, there's quotation marks around it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And
Do they call themselves the Holbrook?
they have this section of the wagon train
Mm-hmm.
that broke off.
Mm-hmm.
They're referring to as the Holbrook Party.
Okay.
Because of Haywood Holbrook, who's a larger gentleman of good education and with a good head on his shoulders.
But he's leading the party.
It's if not leading, he's like the manager of the train.
Okay.
Apparently, the first half of the train tried pushing straight west, whereas this farther north of Tahoe, they kept moving west. Holbrooks decided to push south over the ridgeline until they could find more passable areas.
Okay.
So that's why they heard of troubles passing farther north and decided to come south.
See this?
Yeah, I know, right? It's delightful.
She's
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
uncles. Great.
Wow. It's like a cat sandwich.
Apparently,
right there.
there's a gentleman who runs games every evening.
what kind of games?
Games of chance.
Games?
He has a roulette.
Sorry, I was gonna say. So is he playing vampire? I mean,
He
No, I was
goes,
saying Bill's. Like,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, no, yeah. He goes by the questionable moniker of Rotten Luck Willie. Yeah.
You're gonna tell Megan so she can be released.
Oh yeah, no, she already she's. I'm playing Bill tonight, so
Okay.
Yeah.
Bill's gonna go take Rotten Luck for all his work.
And apparently there's another gentleman who simply goes by Schermerhorn, which he can only imagine is a gentleman of Bavarian descent, who is sort of their provisioner slash traveling mercantile. Those are the only notable individuals he's aware of in the train. Yeah. Meanwhile, up in a tree.
Yep.
Uh,
I tried to get to a tree that looks like if I tried to jump off the tree, I could land on top of someone's wagon. I'm not actually
Excellent.
doing it yet, but
Sure.
I'm positioning myself.
No, I think
And then saying-
Yes,
down
you.
there.
What are you doing?
I think I would like a. I want a wit
She's being
plus survival
Okay.
It works.
to pick the prime tree.
She's being soft, is what she's being.
She is very soft.
Difficulty 7.
Bella.
Does intuition count for
She
this?
can't.
Bella.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What?
Sorry, what was the difficulty?
What?
7.
So
Okay.
rude. You took a chair.
What?
6.
Excellent. You're like, that tree, that branch, that wagon. Yes. It's got hay bales.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh, I like this.
Creed.
Yeah. So you get yourself out on that limb, and you're basically doing the lean out.
Yep.
Right. So you're going to attempt to draw a crowd and then land? Is that the intention, or how do you? What's the rest of the plan here?
Plans?
Okay.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
I haven't actually.
Well, what's the
Stella
desire?
hasn't actually really performed recently, so I think she's just gonna jump it and see what happens.
Okay. Cool. So go ahead and make me a Dex plus Athletics.
Oh my gosh, I totally have a jumping specialty.
Yes. apply.
That was like a little too excited there. What was my difficulty?
Your difficulty is 6.
This cat. It's like. Yep. Well, I'm never gonna leave now.
That's right.
6 again.
Yeah, you do a little half twist off of there and come plummeting down on like the tarp, which apparently is taut across the hay bales, which cushions even more, and you basically go thump into the back of it, and you're like, oh, it's just like when the clowns used to hold the trampoline. Oh, it's the best.
That was nice.
You even get a little bounce out of it after thumping the hay bales underneath, and you're like, aha! And you see a large gentleman. He's hairless from the top to the brows to the face on down, as far as you can tell, and he's dark, swarthy, and he's about 5 feet tall and 5 feet wide. He's a bowling ball of a man, but because he's strong, he's built like a
Barrel chested.
yeah. He's built like a keg.
I feel like I've probably
Like a
seen
dwarf
someone
with no
around
beard.
that size and in the circus before.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, hey, you all right?
Oh yeah, this was on purpose.
Oh, hate to see when it's not on purpose.
I don't know if that ever happens.
All right, well, your parents are around there, or you what's going on there?
My dad's on the other train. I'm just hanging out.
All right,
Seeing how things are.
all right. Well, you be careful then." And he goes over to a horse and starts brushing it down, and you hear him talking to the horse a little bit.
Is this wagon connected to any other ones? Can I hop around?
Yeah, you can probably sort of make your way through this camp since you're already sort of at the edges of it.
Okay.
Are you just gonna scamper through the train?
Yeah.
All right.
On top though.
Sure. Yeah, you're gonna rooftop it a bit.
Yep. Until somebody catches me. I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Stella's having fun.
You see. Let's see here. Make me another Dex plus Athletics difficulty. Difficulty 7, because you're trying to do a leap off the back of a lower cart onto the buckboard of a wagon.
8.
Nice. Yeah, you managed to get a nice little lunge off of it and hit the backboard and scramble up on top of the sheet of the wagon, and you go skipping off to another one behind it. So give me another Dex plus Athletics, difficulty 6, since you're at the same height now.
Okay.
Basically looking at
6 again.
3. Yeah, okay. You sort of roll and tumble. You're getting a cadence for it now. You see another guy who is who's got bright bushy red beard hair face, wearing a cap with a little brim on it, and he sort of takes a swig out of a bottle and just sort of regards you as you tumble along. This next one has a whole bunch of boxes in it, so that one's going to be a little trickier. It's not going to be a soft landing.
Oh.
So this one's going to be difficulty
Don't squish
8.
anything.
If he looks at me, I wave. Hi.
He holds up the bottle and sort of watches you as you go.
Okay. So what am I rolling for this one?
This
Same
one's an
thing, but
8.
An 8? Okay.
Because you're going to need to stick the landing.
Ooh. Should be fun. I only got a 1 for that.
All right. You sort of thud into a bunch of boxes. They shift around.
Oof.
And you hear a What in the hell? What do you get out now? And you see this guy with these chops, right? and he's holding a pipe that looks a lot like Fred's. And he's like, "Get out! Get to go away, you urchin!" And he's shouting at you. Yeah. I mean, he's like flailing around near you as you start to scramble to try and find something, and he finally finds a cane. And so by now I'm guessing you started moving on.
Yeah.
Not waiting to see.
Sorry about that. This isn't a very soft landing.
Those are my goods. Stay out of that. Stop it. You're an insane girl. You maniac.
You've told me that before.
And so as you scurry off, are you going to try and find yet another wagon, or?
I mean, how far up have I gone at this point?
You've gone through about half the train. There's a couple more to sort of tag if you're looking.
Sure, I started, but so I'm finished.
What is your Dex plus Athletics? What are your total dots?
9.
Gross.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, that was basically what she did for a living for a while.
Okay.
So I have Dex, feats of agility as a specialty, and for athletics, should have 5 as jumping and running. So
okay. Roll me 5 dice.
Okay.
There we go.
And tell me if you get any 1s.
None.
All right. You sort of get your cadence back and scramble up a buckboard and onto the top of a covering again, and you're like, smooth sailing from here on out. Yeah, tumbling, somersaulting,
I meant to do that.
bouncing, and yeah, while you're doing it, you see a younger guy with much cleaner chops, into a mustache, sort of brown, not like graying like the first guy, and he sort of like tips his hat to you. It's sort of a floppy, almost flat cap sort of hat, and you see I
smile at that one.
Yeah, and
I do a little twirl.
You see an awning that isn't really connected to anything, so you're like, opportunity, but there's no real. You gotta keep going to keep on the wagon train. There's no real good opportunity to take advantage of the awning.
Right.
But under it, you can see that there is a bunch of people around a table with cards and money and a big wheel that spins.
Is there any way that I can just like hang down without actually jumping down and see who's down there?
Yeah, if you want to scramble down onto the awning. If you stick your head over, though, they will see you. It is a low draped, sort of posted.
Never mind. I'm actually like Isabel here. This is what I'm thinking.
So yeah, you stick your head down over the side of the awning, and yeah, you see a small crew of people. You see a tall gentleman with a finely manicured mustache, nice little curls at the ends. He's got a top hat on and holding a walking stick, like much longer than a cane.
So he looks like the Monopoly dude.
A little bit, but if he was younger, sexier, and a little more sinister. And next to him is
that's someone's sexual fantasy.
That guy has tied women to train tracks.
Is obviously a Chinese gentleman, about a foot shorter, bald, gnarly teeth, cackling, and they both look up at you, and the Chinese man in like the shirt with the collar lunges around the table to scramble up onto a box underneath you, and starts waving his hands at you like shoo, shoo, shoo.
I'm not a bird.
And
I'm a person.
The guy with the walking stick puts down what he's holding, like off to the side behind a thing, and he's like, "Gentlemen, can we please put the action on hold for a moment?" Shoot! Shoot! He's still yelling at you.
I jump back a little bit. What is What's going on?
This is the game of chance area, right?
Yeah.
At some point or another, while she's been doing all this, I'm pretty sure Bill would have at least been just while walking around noticed a big wheel set up with some.
Let me go ahead. Let's see. You got Bill's gear there, right?
Bill's gear here.
Yeah. Give me a.
I mean, if I see Bill, I'll just be like,
Give me a
"Hey,
perception.
Bill!" Suddenly.
Give me a perception plus alertness, and I'm gonna give you an auto success because of her streetwise.
Oh, okay.
So you start with one success already, because basically you can smell games of chance.
Yeah. What's the difficulty?
Difficulty 7 because you guys aren't near the camp. 4. Yeah, it almost has one of those Scooby-Doo smell.
Yeah, we're
sort of things. Where
she gets
starts
out.
wandering over.
She like gets out of the cart after us. Ooh, is that a wheel clicking?
Yeah. And the gentleman picks up his walking stick and comes over and he pats the shorter guy on the shoulder and he says, "Please attend to the table." And he sort of hops down and goes back over the table and he looks up. He goes, "Missy, I don't believe young ladies should be in these types of areas as it might color their constitution." Really? Yes. So
that's interesting.
We appreciate your interest, miss, but perhaps when you're a little older, or if your pa has, any interest in such things.
But the Connies always let me stay.
Then I especially don't want you around.
That's not nice.
No, it's not.
Well,
so if go ahead and go on your way. And
I was just trying to see if my friend was here.
Do any of you gentlemen know this young lady? And like all of them are like, the fuck? Can we go back to the game? And no, you don't recognize any of them. One of them's like, little wave.
Okay, well, excuse me then for bothering you. Bye.
Thank you kindly.
I just like pizza.
Yeah. Although, as you're bounding to the next couple carts, you do see Bill wandering into camp, sort of like honing in on that same awning.
For the purposes of just stuff's happening, Bill's doing that thing. Lazarus is taking care of Annie, but would potentially be conversing with anybody that he knows in the camp if he's met anybody. And Fred set up his doctor's cart out front. Bertram is playing with feet somewhere.
So Russ would be talking to anyone in this camp.
Well, Russ would probably be over by the trading post, talking to people that if he knows anybody, asking about general stuff that's been happening around here.
Mostly just Markley, because Jacob's usually the one consistent guy out there. And so yeah, he would be like, "Oh yeah, you guys are finally heading out. All right, we're good." He's like, "No, just the Holbrook party that came in. They're looking to move on a little later this evening. They'll probably start packing up as they came in at a weird hour yesterday, and they're gonna keep moving south." Some of your crew already stopped in and bought a few things, so.
All right. Well, I just wanted to double check about the area. Haven't been out here in a little bit.
No, yeah. If you get down to Ebbett's place, he actually usually pushes trails down into the foothills. If he has spare mules and a team, then he can probably take you guys down. He knows a few paths down.
I hadn't seen Ebbett in a real long time. All right.
Yeah, no, he doesn't get up this way much.
Well, I'll be sure to let him know that you said hi.
Oh, please do, yeah. So yeah, Bill would get in there.
Yep. She just walks up, shuffling cards.
She is welcome to join the action.
Yep.
But of course, they would not be using her deck.
Well, no, of course
not. Just to clarify. And then, of course, there are many attempts to be slightly more gentlemanly, but with her with her inclinations, they'll warm up to it real quick.
Yeah.
Slightly
more gentlemanly. I like your your suggestion there. I gotta look and see how Auspex and Presence work with regards to her doing gambling. I don't actually know how those. I don't use those powers, so I don't know how they actually interact with doing gambling stuff. I'm not sure which ones work better.
Yeah, go ahead and keep going with that. Stella, do you change up your plans at all when you see Bill start to interact with the?
I mean, I watch from afar and I pout a little bit because I'm like, well, she gets to be there. Whatever.
Fair.
And I just like move on.
Agreed. It's rude.
Bill, please.
And
I mean, if I run out of interesting things to see, I just find like another tree and then make my way back. To...
Wong. He called him Wong. That was,
okay.
That was the Chinese guy's name. Yeah, you would get to the end of the wagon train and be like, "There's no way you're gonna make the jump from that wagon to the first one. You would have to get down and then walk across the ground all boring like to get to either that first tree or the wagon to start another loop."
All right, and then I just like stick my landing on the ground, then just walk back. I had a good exercise. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. So Stella comes wandering back into camp after you've talked to Theo, and
there was a lot of interesting people there.
Who did you meet?
Well, I mostly passed by a lot of people. There was a large hairless man who was really dark and big. Then there was the bushy redbeard guy who was drinking. And then there was the one that like chased me off because I landed funny on his boxes.
She has larceny and security.
Oh yeah, he had really big chops. And then there was a younger guy who was kind of nice.
It's weird. She's got
and then there was the awning where all the people were gaming and they didn't want me there and it was really rude.
Okay, I see that.
There was a guy that
okay, so
like he looks like he was from the East or something, but Eastern
honest,
whatever, and he was like
cricket?
showing me off like I was a bird, and I was like kind of mad about it. But
let's see.
I left. Like the other guy with him, he had a top hat and everything. Kind of made me think of my ringleader. But he told me that I shouldn't just stick around because it wasn't good for little girls or whatever. So I left.
What were they doing?
But otherwise, tries to
playing games. There was a wheel, and then there were cards, and they were doing their thing. I guess they just didn't want me there because they thought I would be, I don't know, corrupted or something. I told them that I've seen this stuff before, but anyway, I only really got I only really heard one name. The Eastern guy's name was Wong, but he was really mean.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
We're busy.
There's a lot of fun climbing over there.
I'm sure there are.
I think that I made somebody mad, though.
You don't say.
I nearly gave you a heart attack. Why? Because she texted me, "I'm home, sister is in the air."
Oh God.
Meaning my sister Rose is now flying home.
Yeah.
So,
not her sister.
Not yet.
Oh my. Wow.
Jesus.
Anyway,
context.
So yeah, so Bill would read the room quite literally.
Yeah.
And she would notice that the guys who are there currently seated around the table.
They all tried to shoo me off like I was like I was an inconvenience, I guess.
There's a couple suckers there, but most of them are sort of like there just to kill time. There's no agitation. There's only this like they're mostly there just having fun.
People get real serious on this.
The Rotten Luck Willie,
games of chance and money,
gentleman with the top hat and a cane and a walking stick and a mustache.
It's not as if I don't know.
He's obviously the master of his domain in this area. And
people get
just
real
watching him
nervous about
shuffle the deck, handle dice. You know that there's a very similar set of skills between the two of you.
Oh yeah.
And that if allowed to get a little wild with each other, that might be entertaining.
Yeah.
But considering there are other individuals,
I'm telling you, people get real nervous around this
engaged.
It just seemed
it
really
might
serious.
be offensive
I just wanted to see if Bill was
Yeah.
to start.
I saw her on the way, and we still let her in, even though she
Unless you pull out the best tricks.
She gets older though.
That's Willie's probably going to notice.
They're probably enthused to see Bill
Which
now. That's going to change.
May or may not be taken as
Yeah.
as
No.
an insult or an offer, and it's not clear what the dynamic between the other couple guys in there
Yeah, no,
is.
all she
No,
should be doing is
She's
she'd be
aggressively
activating all
grooming
aspects of the scene just
right
for
now. Does she have too many
reading players
hands on
because
her?
heightened senses is general, just
Yeah.
good,
Oh,
and
you
then
just
playing
clean
basically
here?
clean
There we go.
the rest of the time as clean as she needs to.
Oh,
Sure,
you
sure.
just cleaned the
Not-
spot?
Not
Mm.
not exactly.
Wow.
Not cheating, definitely not. So
Now she's licking your hand.
yep.
So yeah,
Yeah,
go
She just
ahead
kind of rolls up.
part of the dirty
Boys?
crew now.
Yeah, you want to play CADs?
and they're
Cots.
like,
I love it.
and then,
Love it.
most of them stand up and tip the hat, and they're like, well,
Hey, you
well,
ain't
miss.
gotta do any of that. I'm not that kind of fancy girl.
And a couple of them sit right back down. They're like, all right. And let's see here.
Do I look like I'm that fancy? No.
And then, so they're like, well, we absolutely have the finest seat in the house for you, young lady. Here you go. Da-da-da. And they're like, well, it's 5 cents in. We're just killing time. Nothing,
Oh,
no
yeah.
big stakes out here.
Oh yeah.
And so yeah, they deal you in, and go ahead. Let me see. Between you know what? We'll go with what is the total dots of manipulation plus streetwise?
That is 8 dots for her.
All right, cool. Go ahead and roll 8 dice,
Okay.
and let me know if you roll any 1s or 2s.
No, and I rolled 3 10s. So
All right, re-roll those, and let me know if you get
Yeah.
any 1s or 2s.
Take all their money.
What? Or me?
I rolled 1 1 and then another 10.
Go ahead and roll that 10 once more.
That's right, Bill.
Okay, another 1.
All right.
I like the polar opposites here.
No, it's the cleanup starts to happen, and you notice that Willie is trying to catch you. Like you notice he purposefully fumbles a couple things as part of his normal thing to try and catch you up, taking advantage of it.
Okay.
But you're just playing clean, and because you're new to this crew, they have no read on your tells, and you read them like open books. You even get a handoff on Willie, and
Yeah.
he's dumbfounded by it.
Look at your handsome boy, JC.
Oh,
Aww.
Paper.
yeah. He's like, well, that could be me down there.
And
Just surveying.
go ahead and give me a charisma plus. Which is higher, etiquette or streetwise? Probably streetwise.
Streetwise by 2 points.
Yeah, give me that. Difficulty 7. Any specialties?
Streetwise, I don't know what that says.
That face.
Manipulation is persuasive.
No, I
so-
want charisma.
Oh, charisma. Sorry, no specialty charisma. Streetwise profession, especially is. I can't read what that says. I don't know if it says outlaw or something like that, but I don't think it applies here.
Difficulty 7. What do we got?
1 success.
Half the table is gone by the time you're done cleaning up.
Aw, I thought we was just playing.
Willie, oh well, they're tired, and
Yeah.
oh hey, I gotta.
I promise
gotta
I'll
pack
lose a
up
couple of
and-
rounds if you guys hang out.
Yeah, and Willie sort of got a smirk locked into half of his face, and so the party doesn't go for much longer because you weren't able to quite keep them entertained while cleaning them out. So
I gotta tell Delia about you guys. She can come back here and have fun.
one of them perks up at that. He's like, another lady?
Oh yeah, Delia. She's a friend of mine.
Oh,
Yeah, she's real nice.
Oh.
Yeah, they're probably not nice to you though, but
Oh. All right. All right, I guess I'm gonna head out then. And he also leaves. And with the sort of awkward 3-person situation, the last guy also taps out after a quick hand. And if inclined, Willie would love to talk shop with you, just as two sharks.
I think that's the thing that Bill would like. Also, if she made a decent chunk of money off those guys, then she hands a third of it. She gives like a third of it to Willie because he provided the place for everything to go.
No, the Willie faction remembers this, and he likens it to the house is cut, and he's definitely much warmer on her now, and introduces you to Wong. Wong bows profusely several times,
you're being too formal about things.
You get the sense his English is much better than he lets on.
Yeah,
and
plays up on the stereotypes. So that people,
leans into it.
All right, yeah.
And then go ahead and put an X in the dot next to resources.
Yeah.
To denote the temporary.
She'll be very happy about that.
I think I brought that with me. Oops.
So that's the rest of that evening. Do you guys discuss the wagon train at all, or just sort of his, just talking cards and gambling? Or
yeah, she'd probably ask him. I imagine she would ask him a fair bit about, like, just kind of where he's been, like, while she's just kind of, like, offhandedly shuffling the deck. Like, you know, where you been, where are you going, what's your destination, that kind of stuff. Anything weird been happening, kind of stuff like that.
So yeah, he lets her know that nothing really with them. Just that he came in with a wagon train that was originally headed north to Oregon territory, but there were some rumors that there were issues with some of the trains getting through the through the territory east of Oregon. So they dipped south into California, and when they got to about Yuba City, winter was coming. So the train packed up to keep heading down, but their party decided to follow the ridge trail instead of trying to push west down into the lowlands, because that far north you have to move south and west to get in, whereas south was at least a little more of a straight shot. That was when they became the Holbrook Party, and Haywood is a larger, heavy-set individual, but smart guy, and he's a little easy to bully. So that's why he's never here, never playing cards.
That's a shame.
He doesn't have much of a poker face, but he's a good man. He's Willie's originally from St. Louis. Grew up in spent some time in Northern Virginia, DC. Was it DC by then? No, maybe? Yeah. East Coast a bit of his life, and then came back out because it wasn't the same. It wasn't the life he was looking for, and so that's why he traveled out this way. Yeah. You get the sense that there's more to it.
Yeah,
he's sort of
right.
He's also sort of running from something.
Yeah.
And that he misses something, but it's you're not. He doesn't drink much. He constantly has a drink around,
But he's kind of...
but he's very temperate about it.
He treats it like a vampire's drink almost.
A little bit.
I don't get the sense that he's anything other than human, though, right?
No, yeah, he's
okay.
he's 100% what everything you've learned about him so far. He's exactly that.
Okay.
So that's the fun they have. After another little bit, they start packing up. Wong's starting to put away the wheel, that sort of thing. As you guys have sort of wandered away from the train, it's getting packed up again, but not leaving. Let's see, who's in camp? You guys would be in camp.
Yeah, I mean, I did my rambling.
Yeah.
Pippa is still in her wagon.
Is Pippa still mad at everybody?
I don't know if it's mad.
She's still sequestered a bit.
Like, I don't think she's mad at everybody.
Is she still mad at Fred? She's still
she's mad
highly
at
furious at Fred?
Yeah. Yeah, she is. Even more so that you fucking got her with more fucking China.
Oh, yeah,
That's right, I forgot about that.
You rolled on that, no, actually.
Well, she almost threw it all on the ground. Was like, damn it, it's nice. I hate him.
Pack it up, but I don't want to see it again until he's gone. And then we'll use the shit out of it.
I don't get it. Why does all the tea I make out of this thing taste like blood? It's actually kind of a nice thing for a vampire.
I'm only gonna bring it out for people I don't like.
You open up the lid, it's got an eyeball underneath it.
Miss Allen. What's wrong with Miss Sterling?
Well,
It winks
Stella
at you.
wasn't around for any of that.
Yeah, I was like,
on it, and as it heats up, it actually just starts screaming.
What?
so
Like, here's 14, probably isn't actually 14, I don't know.
okay.
Maybe, if it's still like late
The sugar
teens,
pot
probably.
winks
Okay.
at you when it thinks you've had enough. Added too many lumps of sugar.
it cuts its eye like you're gonna drink.
I want Fred eventually to have an apartment full of appliances that are living, and so they just do terrible things.
Ah, gross.
Oh, it's so good.
The sugar pot is super like catty. Like
Yeah.
Wow.
Really gonna drink?
Uh,
How
3
much sugar
lumps.
you're using?
Right. You
Hannah-
dip your spoon, you hear like, really?
Do you even want to?
Judgy Chinaware.
I want that. Personally.
I just wonder why she's not here.
She is.
She hasn't sang. She doesn't read stories.
She
I miss
is
those things.
It reminds me. It
What's
reminds
the
me
story?
of
sad
the Doors from
because
from
Chloe
the Tiger Sky.
might not want to stay with her anymore.
No, did they have a fight?
No, they didn't have a fight.
For a few decades.
they didn't have a fight.
Just one.
It's just
Just
that.
a
Discussion.
It just never ended.
Now that Chloe has a baby, Fred and Mrs. Sterling think that Chloe should have an opportunity to raise
Fred
the
thinks that
baby
Chloe should have an opportunity.
as a human.
Oh,
So
I never thought about
Well, Fred
how
knows
that
exactly
works.
what's going on.
yeah.
She's just like, this seems like it's right.
Yeah.
She was like,
Somewhere close by, Pippa's like, back of Pippa's like, neck, like, prickles.
ooh, she says, ooh.
Poke her head out of the wagon.
Like a fucking squirrel. Nobody knows!
Yeah.
That's not it.
You just shut the shutter.
Curtains up.
Get off my property.
That sounds complicated.
And it is very complicated, but as such, Mrs. Sterling is sad.
Hmm. I only heard like half of
I've
that.
become the old man who doesn't want anyone
No.
else.
Yes. Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, I'm dying.
Okay, well,
I think the only person that, like, she's actually in particularly good graces with right now is Lazarus.
Yeah.
And, like, Cook.
That's because he accidentally keeps pressing the politeness button.
So,
I mean,
Not even doing it on purpose,
Hannah would
like,
just
what-
realize how upset you were and be like, "Oh, maybe she'll come around eventually, so I'll just leave her be unless I really need something." So
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think you usually can get better from being sad if you're just by yourself a whole bunch.
well, I mean, she has
Oh, she has her people.
she has her people.
Okay. I already made enough people mad today.
meanwhile, in the
Hannah's just like,
in the camp,
Patricia.
yeah, you have Patricia. I'm like, who do you have?
I was like, what is her name?
two gentlemen
The help.
stroll up to the edge of camp, and you hear a voice go, "Hello, the camp."
Well, I guess Fred would be out front, so because he has his little doctor's station set up with a sign and everything.
Yeah.
Ah, welcome.
Give me your organs.
They sort of look.
Is that what his sign said?
Organs deposit box.
I was like, what does
It's got two deposit boxes: organs and feet.
Have anything to donate? This is for orphans.
But it's F-I-I-I,
Yeah.
and the F is backward, and it's just Bertram with a bucket, and he's like,
Place feet here.
Body is not attached.
he
This body's
has one of the
optional.
little paper taco heads. Doesn't make sense.
It's
Where did that come from?
so anachronistic.
Yeah, he's,
Holy shit.
uh,
You know Bertram's a time traveler.
Yeah.
he's
At
a,
this point,
he's
yeah.
a fucking time lord.
Why do you have all these like band patches on your coat, Bertram?
He's like, battle vest.
Made of feet?
That's right.
Oh, gross. No, just the toenails.
All right, you got me on that one.
Wow. There's a first.
Right, there's standards, I guess.
I like how that was a thing.
The feet are fine. The nails, that's just gross.
Out of
Yeah.
everything we've ever discussed, a vest of toenails was because you
I like how the line is at the
Too
very
far.
end of the feet.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
The rest of the
Too
foot is
far.
fine. It's just the nails that are gross.
oh my god.
Sure.
Anyway.
So
Dying.
the two gentlemen come up. One of them is sort of a puffy-faced, heavier set gentleman, but he wears a nice bowler and sort of a suit. And the gentleman next to him similarly has a nice vest under a longer coat and wears a sort of a flat cap, and he has chops that go to a mustache and
Wait, that's not the one that got mad at me.
no.
Okay.
This is
Younger one?
this is the guy who sort of tipped his hat to you as you tumbled through. Yeah, the younger one.
Okay.
And the heavier set gentleman who has a thinly maintained mustache as well. He goes, "Greetings, friend. We are. My name is Haywood Holbrook of the Holbrook party camped out over there. We were wondering if your party was also headed southwards or headed east to try and push through the wilderness."
I don't actually remember what our plan was. If you're talking to me, I'm not exactly the leader here, but I can easily find out. Looking around, do I see Lou anywhere?
Yeah, he's actually sort of sauntering up because he sees there's visitors at the camp, so he's sort of,
Lewis, please come here.
and he's like, "Oh yeah, what's up?"
These men here are inquiring as to our direction as we head out to California.
The younger, taller gentleman goes, "Pardon me, forgive my poor manners. My name is Lawrence Atwell. This is, of course, my the leader of our group, Haywood Holbrook, and who might we have the pleasure of speaking with?"
My name is Frederick Karl Ludwig von Schilben.
And there's the unison head nods at the last part where they get a little lost. But
This is my compatriot, but oh no, I don't know if Bertram's there or not. But
I mean, do you want him there?
no.
Like,
Bertram just kind of wandered off. Like, oh, I should probably find.
He's fine.
Regardless of that, this is our the lead of our our train. Louis
Carpenter?
something.
I believe Carpenter.
Yeah, Carpenter sounds about right.
Yeah. He lifts the hat and he's like, Louis Carpenter, ex-Army Scout and Trailblazer. And they're like, Atwell's like, pleasure to meet you. And Holbrook's like, fine boy, all right.
And around the camp, you'll see some of our more interesting travelers. I don't know if there's actually out right now.
Somebody in your camp called me insane.
Vit, have you already met our other one here?
They go, howdy, miss.
Hello.
Good evening, miss.
My name is Stella Crane. Nice to meet you.
Were you jumping on things again?
Jumping on things. It's practice.
Lawrence Atwell, he goes, a very good practice. I saw it myself. She's quite the, what's the, not gymnast, but there's another goofiness word. That's not.
Trapeze artist?
He uses a bit of an archaic term, which would actually fit. Yeah, quite the tumbler, I guess, something along that line.
Well, I used to perform. Just there aren't really many audiences out west to appreciate it as much.
And Haywood says something to the effect of it not being a particularly useful skill out in these parts, but perhaps at some point.
No, I just amuse myself otherwise.
And Lewis is like, Lou says, "Well, it sounds like you gentlemen mean to speak a bit of business. Are you guys looking to do some trades, or are you looking? What's the concern?" And they say effectively that they don't have much in. The current gentleman who's sort of blazing their trail is a less than sober gentleman that they'd rather have just as part of the train. He means well enough on his own, but he.
Ooh, is that Beardy?
No, you don't. Or you're not sure who they're talking about.
Well, I saw someone drinking.
And they're like, but with a seasoned ex-scout, with an ex-army scout, we, if you guys are heading anywhere south or west, which is typical, we would love to just tack on behind if possible.
I kind of give a sidelong glance to Lou. Give me
Yeah, he gives the nod. He's like, this train's a little more democratic about that sort of thing. Are you guys? And they're like, oh well, of course, yeah. No, we'd intend to sort of take off tonight, but if there's a chance for a little more cooperation, we can postpone it till the next morning or that sort of thing.
I mean, shouldn't we have everybody here to talk about it? Eyes the wagon where Pippa is still inside.
They're like, Holbrook sort of nods over at Atwell and Haywood Holbrook nods at Lawrence Atwell. And he mentions, Tabor did say he wanted to fix that axle, and Atwell goes, well, that sounds like ample opportunity then. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves, and, if myself or Mr. Holbrook aren't available during the day, then I think you can talk to, let's see here. Then there's a gentleman, Horace Tabor, who helps manage some of the paperwork to help me out with that sort of thing. When it comes up, it doesn't much out here, but he would speak for us if we're not available at the time.
We will get back to you as soon as we possibly can, if we can be of some sort of assistance, or if you manage to come across a deal that will allow you to join our train.
And they're like, that sounds wonderful, that sounds delightful, appreciate it, much obliged, etc. Handshakes, good times all around.
Yeah.
And they sort of saunter out of camp back towards their own.
I look right at you, said, go find Abraham, please.
Oh, he's not here? Okay.
Oh no, Abe is nowhere in sight.
Yeah, I mean, he's an us, so he's trying to stay away from...
When there's new people around, he makes himself scarce.
Yeah.
Stella's does not understand why this is a problem, but anyway.
I whistle. He whistles for Rolf and has Rolf go find Bill and Lazarus.
Yeah. So as Bill's sort of finishing up with Willie, packing up with Wong, the dog barks at Bill a bit and motions for her to follow him, bringing her back to camp, and then bolts off into town, sniffs out Russ, and I think Russ can sort of pick up on it.
Russ can just talk to the dog.
Yeah. So under the breath, like, who's a good boy? What's going on?
Yeah.
And
He has more animals. He has more animals than Fred. I mean, he's
it
much
sounds
better
like they want
talking
to
than
possibly
Fred
join
is.
a train.
So yeah, it's basically.
But we said that we were going to talk about it, I guess.
Come camp,
Also,
Yeah.
talk, and so
And he
I
the
think
two of
that
them
Mrs.
lope
Sterling
back
should
into
be involved in
camp.
that
He,
somehow.
absolutely.
is
She's part of the decision. as far as
Miss
I'm
Allen, you're
concerned.
around.
Yeah, I'm around.
Fred immediately comes and finds you as
I
everybody's
think they
running
left
around.
already.
If you need to have a chat,
All right. Well,
and
let's-
we're going to require
let's
Miss,
gather
Mrs.
then.
Sterling,
Okay.
and I don't believe she wants to talk to me at the moment. So if you could get her, I'd appreciate it.
Everybody talks about it.
What is this in reference to?
It seems that the other wagon train that is in town wishes to enlist our aid. It seems that their headman is somewhat drunk, and Lewis is good at his job. So
Oh, okay.
we need to discuss this.
All right. Hannah goes to knock on Mrs. Sterling's door. Who answers?
Patty at this point.
She goes, Ms. Ellen.
Patricia. I need to talk to
What
Mrs.
does
Sterling.
Lisa something to do
Please.
this
Will you
game?
please let her know I'm here and that it is important decisions need to be made and that her input is wanted.
I'll see if she's in. Falls out of her face hole.
Yeah.
And she sort of like thinks about the
Hannah
words.
just looks at her like nods, like I understand.
And
She went out for lunch. No, that doesn't
Pip
apply.
actually stands up and
She's
goes,
on, she's on vacation.
it's fine, Patricia.
she
I'll
goes,
go.
oh, all right, and sort of.
Thank you. And presses her hand. So I love you, but no one else right now.
Right.
So as we walk out, I explain what Fred said and why they would like your input as well, which is basically because it's a group decision to decide if other people. There you go.
So yeah, you guys gather around sort of the communal fire, or probably around Cookie's wagon.
Yeah.
As that's sort of the social area where the food happens, that sort of thing. And yeah, Lou's there, sort of leaned against Cookie's wagon, holding a tin cup that's sort of steaming, and I believe Bill rolls in, as does Russ, with Rolf in tow.
He's a good boy.
Yeah,
There's a few.
I'm a good boy.
There's a few logs getting passed around as stools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, Mrs. Sterling.
You said I was leaving.
It is good to see you.
I assume it is.
He's like,
sitting
I
here
can't.
watching.
Just like
You heard a loud slurp from Lou.
I think it, well, no, I'm not. I assume it is. I'm sure.
yeah, right. He's just sitting there like, I want to be mad about that, but I can't be.
Further in camp, you hear someone like
Yes, I'm
cough
sure.
loudly.
Russ just kind of. She is madder than a ticket, you.
So, and then of course the lonely bench is left for the ladies, if they wish to avail themselves of it.
Yeah, well, I do.
Yeah. And I'm guessing you're on top of the cart.
Yep.
Sort of just
I'm sitting somewhere and my feet are dangling and I'm like, just in earshot.
Yeah. So yeah, Lou sort of takes a cue from Fred, and he's like, the Holbrook party effectively just wants to follow along on our tail. wherever they're headed. I imagine they'll break off once we hit Lowlands. And typically a compensation or a shared fee is expected of the joining party, which I can work out with, I believe, Mr. Holbrook, should it be necessary. I don't think, I wouldn't want to assume, but I imagine you guys aren't particularly concerned with those particulars.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the particular. It's not the particulars we're concerned
I'm
with.
not
no.
particular about particulars.
He sort of nods. He's like,
As long as the day crew is fine with it, because they're going to be folks that would interact with that crew most.
The concern here is whether or not we have an understanding of this our day crew. They don't mind some of our shenanigans. He kind of looks over at you. Since you're the last person to openly nearly murder somebody.
the feet dangle off the edge of the cart.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
That's right. Not the right person.
However, the potential benefit. Well, Lou, how long is this trek going to take? How long would they be with us?
Currently, days to weeks. It depends on how far south we have to ford. It depends on when we find a pass that's clearable. I don't think more than a couple months, just how the weather's been. Something should clear up soon, next week or two, that we can then cut west and get down into the valley.
Well, importantly, this could provide us with a suitable emergency stock of food if we run into more troubles.
We would also have to worry about the integrity and virtue of the remaining ladies in this camp. If we're taking on other day folk who don't understand, just stay away.
Well, I mean...
Stab!
He pipes up, Russ pipes up. Well, Annie is awake during the day, and she's pretty good about making sure all the boys stay in line. And Dahlia seems like she's pretty much got a good handle on things when she's around. Lord knows that I don't want to anger that lady one bit, and I can break a tree in half. So,
I mean, I don't think Theo would let anything happen to our women.
Yet
Theo?
somehow we got stuck in the predicament we carried in.
Bill just kind of says, you're still pissed off about it.
Sorry.
Miss Bellis, I will continue to be pissed off about this.
I guess it's better than being pissed on. I'm doing the wrong accent.
It's fine.
I'm trying to slide from Russ to Bill, so it's like
you're making a valiant effort.
You're traveling from the old world, like
pretty much, yeah.
West.
That's true.
I just sort of look askance, so just like raise an eyebrow because Hannah was like, "Does she actually believe that Chloe was taking advantage of?"
Oh no.
Okay, I was like, she just sort of looking at you like.
Lou says, of course I would ask the day crew how they felt about the situation, and as far as taking care of ourselves,
I'm sorry, wasn't there mention that if someone was a drunk in their case?
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
it's the previous headman of their thing was a drunk.
No, that is true. What about him? Does he have to stay with us? Can he stay behind? I'm not really fond of having a drunkard around.
I would definitely inquire as to the situation there before agreeing to anything.
I mean, he could run into some sort of accident and situations.
Oh, that's really bad.
Define your definition of bad.
You get the look again from Lou, and just a slurp, and
Russ kind of looks over at Bill and is like, "Well, that That's just rude.
Well, to protect our own and ourselves.
No, I mean, I understand. It's just, man, y'all are cold sometimes.
It's been a recent adjustment.
I just look at him as...
I get it. I'm one of the cursed dark folk, too. It's what happens.
Well,
Lou,
I think we can
Doesn't
always
mean-
go
doesn't
with
mean it
our...
have to be awful.
We can always go with our previous kind of arrangements and keep separate camps.
Well, we can't keep them all together separate. I mean, if we're going to be traveling in this single train, you want to make sure that Lou's going to need to make sure he's in charge of everything and making sure we're all going in the same direction.
For
and
sure.
we don't have any other problems in between. So we're going to have to be in kind of close proximity. But I would encourage us to push this feller's cart up a few, because Fred, I don't know if you know this, but you got every so often some stuff dropping out of the back of your cart, and they're gonna ask questions.
Well, I'm not going to be able to go out in plain sight with these folks around either.
That's a good point. Bill,
Stuff like that.
Russ.
Person.
Fred pops up. Fred pops up and then says, "I don't want to be
good.
I mean no disrespect, Abraham. You know that. You are a good friend of mine. But if you wish to, for the times when you need to interact with people, I could, for the evening, make things a little easier for you."
Oh, and here's Mr. Von Sleeben
No.
coming in to fix everyone's problems again without being asked.
I say no.
I
I'm literally asking him if that's what he wants me to do.
Well, he doesn't. There's nothing wrong with him, so
I
stop.
didn't say there was, but we know that.
I sit near to Pippa and do this.
I look at Abraham. Of course, this is entirely.
I'm not suggesting that this is a thing you have to do. I'm saying that I have the capability to make it so that if you need to interact with people, it is less of a problem with
So
the...
should just not
I-
be judgmental.
Hannah's just like,
You get a
I got
snort
this.
from Lou.
yeah. I was like, Hannah doesn't snort, but like there's this heaviness, like this heavy like noise that comes out of her nose.
Oh,
I
sorry,
appreciate
I'm
where that's
insane.
coming
No, it's
from,
not.
Fred. And no disrespect, scene. I know what you mean to do. I am the way I am. I'm used to it, and that's how it's gonna remain. We'll find other ways. If that's the will of the group, I'll find ways to make this happen. But I appreciate it nonetheless.
No, I just don't want you to have to hold yourself up on account of a bunch of...
Oh, please, don't worry about it. I was holed up for months before. This is a nice change of pace.
Lou gestures with his tin cup. He's like, the reason I was considering it at all, whatever you guys decide, is they made it this far as a train either. So adding them on wouldn't be too much of a hassle, and it would it would help out with a little more pay for some of the rest of the crew, and shouldn't be that much more work to take on. Just for reference, I want to make sure any potential concerns are taken care of before the decision's made.
The gambler guy, what's his name?
Willie.
Willie. He's part of the crew, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bill does pipe up and says, that Willie fella, he's a pretty good guy. We me and him had a chat. So so at least a couple of them are pretty good.
Decides not to say anything.
I like how you have turned this aura of spite into like a whole thing. It's great.
Character development.
Oh, Kitty. But as for them. Fred votes that if we're taking it to some sort of vote, Fred votes that he'd be more than happy to have some extra bodies along. Russ is more than happy to have more people around. He thinks that having more humans around for Annie to talk to is always a good thing. And Bill would be at least more pleased to be able to talk to Willie a bit more. And wants to introduce him to Delia, because Delia would probably get along with him.
Bless you.
Thank you. And Hannah puts forth that she has no problems with them joining, but if any of them step out of line, she's willing to slaughter them all.
I mean,
There's a gulp and a nod from Lou.
Russ looks over, he just kind of askance, just like,
I look at...
it's like, and then Fred's like, yeah.
Okay. Hannah agrees and says that if anyone steps out of line, she's willing to slaughter the whole party.
Well, why not just slaughter the ones that are out of line?
Because then the ones that are in line might talk. You have to slaughter all of them.
But it would be fun to have a token.
Oh.
To remind them what would happen to them.
Is that really okay?
Russ is kind of coughs at that. It's like,
That depends on the
this goes against
circumstances.
Christian sensibilities.
I feel like Fred would be like, make a totem.
Fred, yeah, as soon as you say totem, it's like,
Oh my God.
but not
Human heads.
But wondering whether or not to contribute or not at that
no,
particular moment.
actually, Fred hears the totem thing and he probably thinks that's pretty good. Then the ball nudges him in the back and he's like, oh, right, that's super not cool. Right.
Right.
Maybe, I don't know.
That's a wash.
But
Either way, that's what Hannah thinks. She's all like, if the group thinks that it will be beneficial, I'm willing to go along with it, but I will eat them if necessary.
well, oh, yes, of course. We established
Just
that.
destroy them.
Well, I think it would be good for the other people traveling with us who aren't vampires.
If Lou
They'll have more people,
vouches for it,
company,
that's
and money
it's good
and all that
enough.
stuff. All that
And
good
if
stuff.
nobody else has objections, good enough for me. I'll keep an eye out and like
always
Miss Allen, if anybody steps out of line, I'd be more than happy to take him down.
It is going to be very necessary that we contain some of our more troublesome quirks.
I'm being looked at again. What is that?
Lou is purposefully not looking at
Yeah, I know.
Which one of us sitting in the circle has proclivities of strange and unusual things?
you two hear a voice go, unseemly behavior.
From where?
You just hear the disembodied voice. You
I look at...
Yeah, just...
Do I smell tobacco again?
no.
Oh, okay.
She does angrily look over her shoulder, though.
Do we both look at the... I feel like we both
No,
look
yeah,
at the
you
same
both
person.
you both like just sort of like start. Yeah.
Abe is
no
still
idea what
holding
sort
a
of
pipe, but is grabbing an axe slowly from the log.
The two other
Just-
super predators
just
suddenly
Right, it's really turning
Just
around.
blinks slowly her big blue eyes and goes, of course you don't. You never know anything, do you?
It's so much cold. I don't even feel temperature anymore. I'm getting chilly.
So,
She does have touch of frost.
remind me,
That's true.
is Stella aware of other personalities or no?
You like the only one that is like somewhat aware is Frankie. The others, not really.
Okay.
He's usually the you did a thing.
Okay. So Hannah just looks at Stella and she's like, Stella, you know how sometimes maybe you don't quite remember the things that you have done?
Oh yeah.
Right. So...
Lou's like, ooh, I'm gonna go check on my mule. Evening. It's sort of.
That could be an issue with some of the humans.
Oh well, they already think I'm crazy.
That is true. I don't know if this will help things.
Not sure if
Well,
it's
I
a
might-
help or a hindrance.
Oh well.
I just want to let you know that sometimes, you can't remember when you did or why you did certain things, and Abraham lets you know what happens, and when that happens, it can scare other people who are not prepared for it.
That sounds like a them problem.
I don't disagree with that statement, but if they're joining our party, this could be something to be aware of.
Well, Or should I just write things down?
I'll vouch for that part, ma'am.
Are you awake now?
We'll make sure there's no incidents.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's mostly just that we've had a easy time of it so far in terms of not having to hide who we are.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time in a long time that we'll have a large group of people around us who aren't comfortable with our conditions, and I would rather not have to deal with a large mob of people with pitchforks and or torches. That is something that I got away from quite a long time ago. But beyond that, I am perfectly fine otherwise with bringing on a new crew.
I have no qualms.
Can we just verify if there's any particularly religious people among them somehow before we agree to this?
Well, I mean, I don't see what the problem with that is, ma'am. I hold service every Sunday. I mean...
Oh, is this...
He has
Lazarus.
Lazarus?
Yeah.
Oh, does he?
He absolutely,
Yeah, no, he is straight up a good Christian boy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why his name, Lazarus Aaron McDaniel, is literally his Christian name.
Okay, because I was about to say, but there's a difference between you doing it and possibly someone else.
I know what you mean. Yeah, you're right. Daddy had that one fellow stop by from the church that one time, and he gave me a terrible headache.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Yes, those types of religious people could be a problem for us.
Fred pipes up and he says,
A bit blinding.
well, we haven't had any sort of issues like we had back in... Where was that?
Nevada,
Utah.
Utah.
Well, I didn't
Utah,
see
yeah.
anybody worshipping over there. Just a really angry Chinese man. Treated me like I was a bird.
Don't do that while I'm drinking, tell it.
I almost got sucked in as a sister wife.
Ooh.
That was so blinding.
Well, we haven't had that overwhelming sensation. I mean, at the very least, there's not enough of them to cause a problem.
Fair. Okay. All right.
So yeah, Lou hasn't quite left the circle.
You want to ask her if she wants some dice to roll?
No. So yeah, Lou's like, yeah, no, sounds good. I'll talk to him. We'll get some particulars worked out, and other than maybe traveling during the day, which probably shouldn't be a huge problem now that we have a routine down. I don't feel like much would change other than having a crew behind us. And yeah, I can definitely see if there's anyone who's particularly devout and find out about their drunkard, that sort of thing. Sure.
Okay, yeah. I
Okay.
think we're solid on that.
Yeah, we just want to clear up some of those details.
He sort of flicks what's left in the cup out onto the ground and hangs it upside down on the cart. And he's like, "Oh well, evening then," and sort of strolls off into the night and leaves the rest of you to your devices.
Sweet.
Any other business for that evening?
Alright. No, I don't think. Yeah, I can't feel anything.
The next night rolls around.
Are we on day 3 or 4?
This is day 3, I think. Well, because we came in on night 1.
And they came in on night 2.
They came in on night 2,
Day 3.
and this is night. I think this is night 3.
Wait, where are we
Okay.
coming
I just wanted to make sure, like, how many days have gone by.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So down blood up
No.
a willpower for another night past. And
I feed today.
alright.
2 from each.
Phil stays equilibrium because she does her little
I'm
bit
just
of
trying to
feeding.
slowly shave off
Lazarus does his
one at a
tiny bit of
time.
feeding. And try this in.
Lou informs the crew that an accord has been struck and the Holbrook party will remain independent, but merely following along in the wake of this party. He was like, I just called it the Carpenter Party because that was the first thing that sort of came to mind. I don't.
Good name as any.
If you all want to make it official otherwise, let me know. And he's like, yeah, we're going to leave at first light, so you guys will hit the hay and wake up somewhere else.
What are we explaining to this new crew? Like, are we just saying, oh, we are just night owls, or why they won't see us during the daylight hours?
Oh no, we've already gone over that. That due to the unique composition of the train, we actually kept weird hours pushing over the flatlands, and are just readjusting to, daylight, nighttime, because we did so many evenings pushing through the night, and that's actually not an uncommon practice. So
Okay.
it's a little odd, but not really.
Day crew, night crew.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I don't think that anybody has any major things to do other than Bill would go over and try to do some more gambling. But that's the only thing he'd really or she'd really be interested in.
No, right.
Yeah, Russ and Fred don't really have anything they would be doing on another night, just getting stuff ready and figuring out where they're going to put Fred in the train so that he doesn't freak out the normals. Guys, you're scaring the streets.
That's all right. So yeah,
Part of the fun, though.
There's some last minute getting-togethers for the evening, and as both camps sort of die down for the night, it's a mostly quiet night. As the morning starts to kick in, the rest of you go back to bed for the day, and the next night, so now the fourth night, you all awaken. One more blood point, one more will point, and
So, how have you been preparing?
you guys are actually
So, last night was Frankie and now Natasha, so...
Right.
Did you do anything? Because otherwise Sasha has no idea what's going on.
Well, you're going through the standard fare with these, and every time we make plans and one of the new personalities rolls over, just go over everything. All of it.
Wake up in the morning, hand her the diary, read this.
Tasha refuses to read it.
Yeah. He has to act it out.
Tasha
Sock
can't.
puppets.
Yeah, basically. I have to do the voices. Otherwise,
so when you guys wake up, you realize that you are stopped in the middle of a larger clearing, and there is sort of a gully off to the west. You guys expected to be at Ebbett's Post this evening, but you are not. And when you guys are up and about, word gets around that the Newell wagon, the horses got spooked and chased themselves into that ravine.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no.
One of the brothers passed away from the fall, and the other one is all beat up and battered and broken. Funny enough, the guide that they had has now claimed the Newell brother as his partner and staked a claim down in that gully because they found gold.
Holy shit.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure that's correct.
So there's a bit of a buzz from the other camp
I don't remember these people. Who's
that
Newell?
they're going to be
It's random people.
staying in this valley to mine out the gold.
Oh.
Wonderful.
Well, that was quick.
That'll happen during the day.
Yeah.
But did we just gain a train and then lose a train?
I think so. Or
yeah,
just
if you ask Lou, he's like, yeah, they've all got the fever. They're like you can see every so often someone will tramp down a little bit of a trail that's starting to develop off to the south and to the west that goes into the gully, and there's actually a wagon that's been sort of stripped that got stuck somewhere trying to head that way, and so yeah, it's actually kind of busy for the middle of the night.
Huh.
But they don't know what spooked the horses originally.
Oh, snakes.
Oh, just okay. Just
That was
okay.
a normal.
Okay,
yeah.
normal spooking.
There was a snake in his wheels.
Yeah.
That's some real Oregon Trail shit right there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was quick.
Okay then.
Neat. Do we
What's so great
care?
about gold?
Lou's like, no.
Oh,
If
girl.
they want to keep going, then I wasn't even gonna make them honor the contract of any sort since we barely had them for the evening.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
Sure does.
He was like, Holbrook was full ready to pay, for half the trip on it, but I told him I'd think about it for the evening before we took off as well, before giving one way or the other.
I mean, Rose is totally fine with me not doing that. 'cause
Yeah, I was about to say
Brian's
Hannah had some real reservations about taking them on anyways.
Yeah.
So she is 100% okay with being like, yeah, no, cool. Let the humans duke it out.
Fred just kind of pipes up at some point. Is that Bobby still down there?
Oh my gosh.
Lou's like, actually, I'm not sure. There was something about how they were burying him right there by the river, and that's when they found the gold when they were digging. So I want to say he got
waiting for
flung
you.
out of the hole, but since the brother survived, I imagine they'd be upset if that body went missing.
Make a solid point.
Just saying.
Well, if a foot goes missing, like,
They might just think that's coyotes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or a really big snake.
No, I guess that's fine.
Foot snake.
Bertram comes lumbering over, just sort of like, did you call me? Someone said my name.
Are you all right, Bertram?
He's like, yeah.
Okay.
That's fine. They'll trust whatever Lou tells them.
Okay.
Just tell them a
Okay.
foot viper came by. And
Foot fuck. Specifically a snake that only targets feet.
It screams with the sound of an elephant.
yes.
I get that joke.
Yes.
Oh, gross! It's just
I
a
got that
snake
reference.
with little feet off the side of it, and it sort of
Right.
That's
pads its
real.
way
Those
through.
are real.
No, but this one has like 8
Actual
of them, but they're like
human
human feet
Yeah.
on a green snake, and it just
No
sort of
legs.
stops,
No legs, just the feet.
and it rears up, and there's the feet, and it goes, "Ah!" and so it just keeps walking itself.
Why does it make that
What
noise,
is-
Tony?
What?
Why does the snake make
What
that
is this
noise?
abomination?
It makes an elephant noise.
Tony can't make an elephant noise.
I didn't want it to be an actual elephant noise, 'cause that's
Yeah, sure.
It's loud.
that's your thing. I didn't want to take your thing. You know,
Never made an elephant out of my life.
I want my thing to have gross human Flintstone feet attached to the snake.
Yeah.
Why are you like this?
Yeah, dabba do, baby.
So
Needs to make
awful.
Flintstones like
Well,
Foley sound effects on it.
Oh, those sounds.
Yeah, this is it.
Well, I guess if they're hanging out here because of gold, we don't really have anything else to do with them, so we can just take off.
Cool.
Sounds boring. Let's go.
Bill might be interested in that.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
Well, we're not leaving for the night, right? Until we're here for the night. We're not leaving until the next morning. So, yeah. Okay. I'd say Bill. Yeah. Yeah. Well, because that's what Bill went.
What are they all doing out there with those
I forgot why
hands?
Bill went down there. She went down there for the gold, I think, didn't she?
They got the fever.
They have a fever? They're sick?
Law, in manner of speaking, is gold.
Yeah.
Gold
Said that
fever.
already. I'm bored.
Same
Gold
reason.
fever.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, I totally forgot that she's 100% on the way out here to get gold.
Yeah.
So so she's super interested in it. Jeez, I feel
Jason.
bad because now I forgot about that.
Yeah. You're like basically playing 3 vampires right now. So.
I am playing.
There's
Green
a 10
You
now.
move the books.
It's okay if you don't. You miss a
I
detail.
made a 10.
Oh, you made a tent. Oh my god, John.
She's getting so spoiled.
Well, she's like she likes you now, and your coat smells like you, so she's all, oh, it's a good place.
Sorry. Sorry, my bad.
Did you disturb it?
I gave her the butt scratches. I guess she didn't like him as much as.
Stop touching my butt.
Yeah. Oh no, I love it. Oh, Thraxon wearing a plaid shirt and eating a banana. What's there to not love? Of course it's in Russia. Why would it not be in Russia?
That's gonna be the
Russia's
next.
the raccoons.
That's gonna be the next thing that Jenny turns into. Is a fucking raccoon.
Look at this.
Oh, I love him.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Rocket.
Bananas.
Hell yeah. He needs that guy's prosthetic arm.
I need that guy's eye.
Look at this thing. This is ridiculous.
Alright.
So adorable.
Hey, Lisa, will you put some on a thing for me? Well, take your time. I don't want to interrupt you in the middle of what you're doing, but...
My other favorite derp.
So yeah, if she heads down there...
Bill is definitely gonna head. Yeah, Bill is definitely gonna head down there at least to look to because I totally forgot that she was told that she's into the idea of gold, and so it's like it's again the whiff.
I feel like she would get down there and see them sort of bouncing around, staking claims. Yes, please.
Okay.
Panning, setting up sluices, and she might get caught up in the energy of it, but realize that
Here it is. I actually just asked her. She said she's interested in gold, but not mining it herself.
exactly.
So,
She would. I feel like she would get down there and be like, "Now's the time to." Oh no, that involves work,
yeah. All right. Yeah, that sounds about right.
and they need to be here a little while to do the work.
Yeah.
To then fleece them.
Yeah. Okay. That makes more sense. So she's gonna. Yeah. She would go down there, take a look at all that, and go, "How about no?" And then put a mental note. Put a little flag down here. Drop a pin on this map.
That north of Ebbett's Post and south of Markley's general store. That this encampment has sort of started.
Okay.
And yeah, she can even talk to Willie. And that same night, he sort of says as much as she's thinking. He's like, you gotta wait for that hand to come around. Now it's a waiting game. And I put my lot in with him, so I'm gonna wait.
Well, you let me know when they hit a good when they get a good pile going, and I'll sweep on in to take it all from you.
He chuckles, and he goes, "I'll send a letter out to follow you wherever you go, and then I'll love to take whatever you got when you come over, and we'll see where that goes."
Man.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Say no more. Say no more.
Wong
Makes as good as a nod to a blind bat.
has a loud force laugh that does nothing for his teeth.
Nice.
No.
That's awesome. I love it.
And
Poor creature.
oh, what's up with it?
You're welcome.
Devil Seas. Yeah, those are real good.
That's how I like it.
That's right. It's that peanut butter.
Yeah. So good, so good.
I'm dying.
It's starting to concrete in my throat.
Something's going on.
Right.
I don't know.
I know I would die this way, but I always really hope.
Wow. Are you getting some snooze soon?
Megan is very happy about everything going on with Bill at the moment.
Nice.
Yeah, you're killing it with this like 3 vampires
When is she
thing.
watching?
Huh? No, I'm
sure
updating.
she's watching.
I'm updating her. So.
But yeah, so that's all going on.
Yep. I mean, other than that, then I don't think. I know none of these 3 have anything that they need to do, and are just like, well, let's keep a move on. I don't know about any of the rest of y'all, but
I mean, I think the most that would happen is Tasha goes and obfuscates over there and sees, what are they doing? And then gets bored and leaves.
Yeah.
That's about it.
if we move back to are we moving back to traveling at night and then staking down during the day?
Without this, yeah, you'll probably leave during the day, sort of to keep things normal.
Right.
As you leave this crew,
Throw them off the sand.
and then when you get to Ebbets Post, probably go back to nighttime.
Yeah. If that's the case, Russ is going to be spending his nights in a Raven mode, flying over the
Or the
caravan.
team. Cool.
Which I don't think any of you know that he can turn into a bird.
No.
yet.
I mean,
I know you can turn into a bear.
I think if Tasha ever saw
What
it,
about
she would
turning
think
into a
it's
bear?
the
You
coolest
told me about
thing.
Oh, did I?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Lazarus and Pip talked about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot that.
Yeah.
I forgot that came up in conversation.
Yeah.
It did.
So there's actually a thunder peal in the evening, and it starts to come down raining pretty hard.
Yeah.
Actually, more of a reason for him to go flying.
Yeah. There's a little concern about it, as this is sort of a flat plain with all that water, but as there's a gully nearby, it should pull the river, and the people staking claims out there are probably looking forward to it. So Lou will want to get things moving earlier than later, but there seems to be an energy about the valley as this rain pushes through, and the wind and people trying to keep fires alive underneath canvas pavilions. And it's early morning, so you guys do your best to waterproof what you can and get tucked in for the day, because no amount of overcast clouds will prevent you from the sun's rays peeking through.
I did have questions,
Yeah.
just offhand, because I hadn't asked about it in a while. We're heading south. Is
Mhm.
Fred getting any sort of thing from the ball?
Right. Fred has, I don't know if this is going to be it. Fred's taken a proclivity to sleeping under the wagon.
Yes. That, I think I mentioned that before at some point.
He feels no more compulsion to keep his earth tucked into himself, and has pretty much been able to ignore his dirt.
That's weird.
He's pretty much sort of readapted himself,
Huh.
and feels a bit possessive of the land.
Interesting.
And
That's weird now.
let's see here. Does he have Protean?
Yeah, no. That's his.
He can earth meld, right?
He can earth melt. That's he has the third dot of protein. Yeah. Both
Right.
both he and Lazarus, but I had to get the third dot of protein and the third dot of vicissitude because I was going to do the whole bone weapons thing, but then I decided to go full monster. So
Yeah, and yeah, south. You like going south? It feels like going downhill.
okay,
To quote an end. And
yeah,
something that feels natural
okay.
in this progression.
Yeah.
So, one more day. You awaken.
Today I feed Patty and Jean-Pierre.
And in
We lost the other train already, right? We're already past that.
ain't nobody stayed.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Then I'm gonna take off of Theo 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the guy keeps missing out on the Liza. Liza's been away for a while.
Russ,
I'm real confused one day.
Sasha. So.
Right. And then, yeah, so the blood point and the willpower, etc. Yeah, you awaken at a small, it's almost a cave, sort of at the edge of a precarious clearing, where there's a few tents set up next to a stream that sort of leaps itself off the edge of the edge of the rocks down to the gully below. A light drizzle sort of reminds everyone that it's still spring, winterish, and this is Ebbet's Post.
Nice.
Previously a fur trader. The couple caves in the Russ would know this, and maybe Abe, by extension, of profession. That was a pretty common trade out here until the war kicked up, and then Lou actually gets a map from John himself, John Ebbett, to take him through one of the sheep trails that he knows that goes west that should accommodate your wagons.
Okay.
And so there's a little more of an elevation climb from there, but once you pass that, I think it's a 6,000 foot mark, it should be a nice decline to make the rest of the way down. Let's see. So yeah, there's a few other humans around, but nothing large enough of a population that one would consider this feeding territory.
Yeah.
As it would be a little obvious. But you guys seemed to take care of that off of your Of your herd, yeah. So, anyone have any other business for the train before you head up through the pass for this evening?
No.
I don't think so.
I think Pip is actually starting to come out and hum. Oh, fuck. It's starting to come out and hum and just be around people.
Right.
The humans more often now, but all of her songs are either
melancholy.
Yeah, they're either lullabies or just forlorn. Forlorn.
Nice.
Sad, sad.
I'm a sad Pippa.
It's just
Yeah.
Bella just piped up at that. He's here for it.
Would this trading post? I don't remember if you said how good of a trading post it is, or it has a fairly decent foot traffic, or
yeah, a lot of people come through here, but right now it's sparsely populated.
okay. Well, he's the only thing Russ would do is to check in to see if they had any, the antiquated version of medicine, whatever that would be called, to help soothe Annie's conditions. Because Lord knows none of the vampires.
You're looking for tinctures.
Yeah, just medicine.
Hey, nice.
Snake oil.
69.
Yeah. It's sold in a glass bottle. It looks suspiciously like brandy.
Yeah, it basically just is brandy.
Right.
It's brandy. It's brandy with a little bit of mercury mixed in there because mercury is healthy for you.
It's brandy with sage.
Cures everything. Will help you sleep. Cures all your body pains. It'll cure your sad.
You gotta make sure it's labeled to cure your rheumatitis and your lumbago.
Yeah. Balances the humors.
Oh my god! Don't forget the coca leaves.
Yeah.
That's right.
But yeah, basically he's like, yeah, we actually had a stock of it, and we've got we haven't had much use for it this season so far. So absolutely, he passes you along a bottle, and it has enough of a syrupy context to it that it actually helps with some of the coughing fits that she gets. And
He also finds do they have any tea? Is that a thing that they would have, or would they just have like coffee and stuff?
He mostly has coffee, but
actually, you know what? There's still like woodland. It's still woodland territory, right?
yeah, I was about to say.
So Russ will get the medicine for her, and then we'll go out and collect herbs to make herbal tea because he's got at least some means to do so. Yeah, survival.
And then pine tea has actually become a sort of an odd little drink to have flavor in the water and drink something warm thing that the crew has been doing as it's been realized that it's
whatever horrific concoction he creates, he does bring some over to Pippa just to be like, hey, I thought you might want some of this. just offensive in terms of
It's Lazarus,
smells.
right?
Yeah, it's
So
Russ.
she takes it.
No, at whatever
I mean,
point
she
in time that
doesn't drink it
happens,
anyway, but
yeah,
like, she just...
whatever point in time it happens, he brings over a little heated cup to you
Oh, fancy.
because
Yeah.
he's a nice boy like that.
Gracious.
So is it like an herbal concoction of your own, or does it?
I would say it's what he would be looking for is an herbal concoction that Annie makes. So he's just out looking for the forage, which would, like I said, he has survival and a few other things that might help him with that. So
Nice.
So if he can find all the stuff, whatever flower or herbs or anything like that, he gets that because he knows that whatever it is that makes her feel better.
No, good.
Oh, is your wife not doing well?
Wild mint or whatever.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, things are rough.
Yeah.
Things are a little rough.
No, they're as rough as I expect they're as rough as Russ expects them to be. So.
Do you hear that?
I hear it. A lot of it.
Wow.
Oh, she hears it too. Look at that.
Yep. She's like, she's sitting.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys are poised to make the push through the pass, and I think since you guys traveled through the day, Lou and Cookie and Joseph, who's mostly convalesced, he's up and about anyway.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Have all agreed to give it a day's rest before starting that next night, so that all of you are present for the trek, as it will most likely be the more treacherous part of the journey. And with that, I think we will call that the evening. Let's go ahead and do a modest 2 XP all the way around. For good times, RP time goods.
For RP thing.
Yeah.
And
Your RPs.
so, can anyone guess the cool references I sprinkled throughout this entire session?
So I'm assuming the gold vein is one that actually got found at some point or another.
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, okay. That was the only one that I really thought of. Is the gambler guy somebody?
Kinda, yeah.
Willie.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's
Yeah,
fine.
I did nothing.
All right, so let me give you a quick rundown. Markley is the namesake of Markleyville, which is an actual town in the Sierra Nevadas.
Oh, neat. Okay.
And the Holbrook Party is actually pretty much the entire crew of Paint Your Wagon.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I haven't watched that in years.
Yeah, I haven't seen. Yeah. Okay.
I
Nice.
thought having them sing they call the Wind Mariah was a little too on the nose.
Yes.
And
That would
Well,
have
that would yeah, that
and
would
straight up naming Ben Rumson as their guide
Uh-huh.
also would have tipped you off.
Yeah.
He was the drunkard who took the brother who was a part of it
yeah,
because his partner died.
Yeah.
And she actually first encountered Horse Doctor, but Bones is Bones, also blacksmith.
Okay. Nice.
And yeah, so I have
I needed a singing Clint Eastwood to seal this.
that was Newell.
Yep.
Sylvester Newell is the actual name of
Oh
Parker.
my god.
Yep.
And that's the guy that died, right?
His brother died.
Oh, his brother died. Okay. Ha! Nice. That's good. I like it.
And the opening scene of the movie is what happened during the day before you woke up in that clearing.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Where they're like, bring brother,
Yeah.
put him in, they see gold,
Yeah.
pull him out, and they fling the body up
Yeah.
on the bank.
That's
And they all
that's
jump
what you're talking
into
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I should
props
Cute,
to
cute.
you.
So,
Props to you.
Yeah.
Deep cut.
Totally.
Yeah, quite. I don't think I've ever actually seen Paint Your Wagon, so
I've
I would've
seen
recognized-
Wagon.
Would you so I can fire on my DVD?
I mean, I'm sure it's probably.
Oh, and they left
You're gonna
Yuba
have
City because that
chisel
was
it
the
out.
town that that Ben Rumson got run out of.
Ah.
That he had what he owed to Schermerhorn,
Ah.
who was the crazy Bavarian
Gotcha.
who was screaming at her.
Gotcha.
Mm. Boy, I miss.
I'm
all of
really kind of sad that we don't have the Bavarian around anymore because I wanted to get into a German screaming match with you.
Yeah, no, there's
Bye.
it could have
It
played out a
might
bunch of different
happen
ways.
At one point.
Anyway, all right, say goodnight, internet.
Good night, Internet.